Hey everyone, I'm Whooper. Do you want to start running a fun and quick category of a cute Kirby game? Great! A couple months ago, I wanted to start running a Kirby game, and I do own Kirby Super Star Ultra for the Nintendo DS. So I noticed this neat little subcategory for Gourmet Race on Speedrunning.com, and it was really fun to learn. And I'm kind of half decent at it. So I want to get more people hooked on to speedrunning this meme category. Wait! I know it's a meme category, but it's our meme category. So give it a chance. So there are a couple of rules to the speedrun, though. The big one is that you submit the in-game time only, and not your in-real time. So you don't need any splits or anything like that. The only other rule is that it's how it's submitted. All you need is picture proof of the final screen. Don't do time attack. Personally, I have a big grudge against picture proof because, Photoshop is a thing. Yeah. But if you can't record your screen, all you need to do is snap a picture of the final time and you're all good. So I guess there's a silver lining. Emulating the game for this run is allowed, but you can only use Melon DS version 0.5 for speedrunning this game, as far as I know. I'll put a download for the emulator and a Japanese version of the game for you guys to download in the description. So now that we know all the rules, we can start learning how to run this category. Unfortunately, when you start playing Kirby Super Star Ultra, you'll have to complete the first stage of Spring Breeze in order to unlock Gourmet Race. Once you're done with the first stage, you can just exit out. That only takes upwards of 4 to 5 minutes. From the main game screen, you can select Gourmet Race, and you're pretty much ready to start. We choose the Grand Prix for the speedrun, and only submit our Grand Prix final time. Time attack is strictly for practicing your stages. You can skip the cutscene or watch it. It won't affect your time, as well as the tutorial. You can watch it or not. Neither things will affect your time, so you're good. Now all you have to do is, for your first run, just beat Gourmet Race's 3 stages as fast as you can, playing however you think you should run. At the end, your total time should be somewhere around 2 minutes or 1:50. Pretty normal. Keep this time jotted down somewhere to note your improvement. This run is pretty short and simple. It's not too hard. From here on, I'm going to split the stages into separate sections, starting with Stage 1, Pumpkin Grand, Stage 2, Corn Hall, and then Stage 3, Onion Garden. Timestamps for each will be in the description below. So, yeah, if you want to practice each one separately, just go to a timestamp and you'll learn all about the stage. So starting with Stage 1, Pumpkin Grand. At the start of Stage 1 and pretty much all stages, you'll see King Dedede next to Kirby and a Waddle Dee holding up a sign with a countdown on it. After the sign hits 1, he pops a party thing, and you're pretty much off. But if you can get the timing right, you can dash way ahead of King Dedede and the start by simply double tapping right on the D-pad at the right time. Everyone does it in however way they see fit. I recommend you double tap it at the sound of the pop that the popper makes, but that doesn't always work. I've never been too consistent with it. Other ways to do it are visually, when Waddle Dee's facial expression changes after it flies out of his hands and becomes that little X. That's a good time to double tap. If you do it right, you should be running before the first bend. You should either see Dedede's mallet only, or not see Dedede at all. Best case scenario, you don't see Dedede at all. And doing that just saved you a bunch of time. And that will always happen for every stage. It'll save you a ton of time. This is the same for all 3 courses, so just try to practice this as much as you need until you're comfortable with it. The first part of Stage 1 is fairly simple. You run straight. When you hit the water, don't jump over it. Just run right through it. It's actually faster to be slowed down in the water than it is to be jumping, and overall, you want to be on the ground as much as you can throughout the entirety of this run, and out of the air as much as possible. At the end of the water, you can just start running near the end of the water at the transition from water to land. It will save you a couple of frames when you start running. Do the same thing for the second set of water, and then after that you see a set of 2 pillars. All you want to do here is just slide through the pillar by doing a down A. A little tip is if you do down and A at the same time, you skip the ducking animation and saves you a frame for each pillar. As soon as you're through the pillar, start running. Every time you lag from doing a different action to running, you will lose time. So try your hardest to run as soon as you can. Do the same thing for the second pillar and you're good. When you reach the hill, you can just start running over the gap without stopping. Unfortunately, you've reached arguably the hardest part of the run, the 1-frame jump. But it isn't as hard as it looks. Here's what it looks like at full speed. The technique that Killer0407 and MKCocoon have been using is that you stare directly at Kirby, and when you see the right distance, or the gap becomes a nice thin rectangle, jump immediately. That's the frame you jump. and you should make it. During the jump, you just hold A and right. You'll land at the top of the staircase, right at the pit. And from there, just run off. Make sure to hold right while you're in the air and immediately start to run whenever you land. Congrats, you made it to the end of the stage with a good time. Now on to Stage 2, Cornhole. The start of Stage 2 is the same as start of Stage 1 and 3. Watch the first bit of Stage 1 to get the timing down and zoom past DDD. As you run forward, you'll reach a little jump. Hop after Kirby walks past the sign, land, and attempt to run over the pit. As you can't make it, you'll tap A while falling into the pit and tap B after to exhale and float right past the edge of the pit, making it directly over. After that, just run up and down the hill. Again, after reaching the sign, hop to the top step of the staircase and quickly hop onto the first log bridge. Run off the bridge and do the same float trick exhale to make it into the second log smoothly, run off the second log bridge, and land on the small platform. Jump off at the end of the platform for maximum distance, and when Kirby starts to do his flip mid-air, tap A to puff Kirby up, tap B to start that exhale, and you should land smoothly. Now just run off, land, run forward, run over the small pit, run on and past the last platform. Now you've reached the small section going upward. To start, just jump on the ledge and go forward, where it tells you to go up. Now you're just going to jump forward, purposely hit the wall, and then when Kirby's squished, do the puff trick again, but this time pointed in the other direction, and you should land smoothly onto the next raised platform. You know you've messed up the timing if you didn't make it up, or Kirby stutters a little after landing on the platform. Just run to the other side and repeat the same thing you did with the first ledge, this time reversed. Now just run down, land, run down, land, and you see two signs saying up and forward. Here you simply want to jump up, hit your head on that ceiling, grab onto the ladder by holding up. Doing this lets you climb the ladder at the best spot to save time. Now you climb up a bit and jump out onto the ground. It'll be faster than climbing fully. Now for the hardest trick in Course 2, when you reach the slant, at the top of the slant, just jump and hold forward, and you should be able to be at the top layer that you can run on. From there, just run forward, over the gap, forward a lot, run off the edge, and keep running till you've reached the goal line. Congrats, you made it to the end of Stage 2 with a good time. You've made it to Stage 3, Onion Garden. The start of Stage 3 is the same as the start of Stage 1 and 2. Just watch the first bit of Stage 1 to get the timing down and zoom past DDD. Run up the hill and jump for the wing cap because, well, birds are cool. Then just fall down the pit. Flutter your way to the spike wall and perform a little set of tricks with your wing ability. This trick is called the Jump Cancel Dive Bomb, or JC Dive Bomb, or Dive Bomb Cancel. I like to call them wing tricks because it's cuter. If you hold down and mash A and B alternatively very quickly, you'll rise a lot faster than mashing A. It's pretty much mandatory to get a good time, so abuse as much as you can. How good you are at this basically determines your time for this entire course. Your ring trick to the top, fly forward a couple of times, and majestically fly to just over the first set of brown bricks. Pause your game just as your feet would change animation from being in the air and being on the block. If you pause your game right as that animation would change, directly on top of the block, but before landing on it, the block will break upon unpausing without having to wait. These are called pause skips, and can save about a second and a little bit if you perform all three skips successfully. After going through the third block, flutter to the top left path and gently float down the pillar of blocks. Fly close to a block, since it's about the same size as Kirby, and just attack it with a normal B, and directly after jump right through the block you just broke. Flutter to the left a bit and land on the ground, run to the opening in the wall, and start doing some more wing tricks. Stay to the right to avoid the spiky block, just fly over the column heading downward. As you reach the opening while flying, flutter to the left 3 times by pressing A consecutively to keep your momentum to the left, and into the water you go. This part's pretty straightforward. Swim to the pocket of water, and jump through the pocket to save time, hop out of the water to the right as quickly as you can, and start fluttering while mashing A to the left. Once you see the third section of the lowered ground appear, stop fluttering and land at the edge of this layer. Run or slide off, because this will change your direction a lot faster than falling down to the next platform. Do a quick flutter at the ceiling and land at the edge, and immediately fall off. Change directions to the left and start fluttering 2 to 3 times, land on the ground, start jumping at the first opening. At the first opening, position yourself to do some more wing tricks. This will take a lot of practice, because these are a lot harder to do because you actually have to adjust your movement instead of just going straight up. During the middle sections in between your dive bomb cancels, you're going to change your directions and move slightly to the right or slightly to the left, following the clouds. Once you're at the top, you can just gracefully land on the ground and run to victory. Or fly to victory because you're a bird. Congrats, you made it to the end of stage 3 with a good time. And that's it. After you're done with course 3, it gives you your time, shows your score with the amount of food you've collected and how many times you beat DDD in the race itself. And after that, it gives you your total time on your victory screen. That's it! There it is! Your time! The time shown here is the time you submit with your speedrun. And conveniently, even while missing most of the food, you still got more than DDD. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope I've convinced at least some of you to start speedrunning this amazing game. In this fantastic category, I'd like to give a special shout out to MKCocoon and Killer0407. Their Gourmet Race forum posts, strategies, and videos really helped myself and others love speedrunning this category. Adding up the human records for this route actually gets us a 125.55. So we know that a 125 is possible, but more importantly, that a 126 is achievable. And none of us runners have gotten it yet. So that's why I'd like you guys watching to give it a shot and beat our records. Have a nice day, everyone. Hope to see you all on the leaderboard soon.